Good morning, everyone. Good morning from Sydney, Australia. It is Thursday morning here, an absolutely stunning day. It is going to be a huge day today. Let me tell you, in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, I have a very full day planned, where I have a list of, I think at last count, around about 25 to 28, depending on how I go, recipes that I will be photographing today for the new cookbook. So really super exciting day coming up. And lots of work ahead, lots of delicious food that I'm going to be shooting. And then, I don't know, probably have to eat it as well, not long after that. So yeah, it's gonna be a great day. But I am prepared. I've been up really early this morning, just kind of preparing myself mentally and physically for the day ahead. And as I was up early this morning, before the sun came up, it was a beautiful sunrise. It was absolutely gorgeous sunrise this morning, just stunning. And as I was up getting ready for my day, the thing that really blew my mind, as I'm looking at this incredible sunrise, and I'm kind of going through a few bits and pieces as well online that I need to do, I did come across a couple of articles. I went into a bit of a deep dive. And what I want to chat with you guys about today is Ozempic. I know I've talked about it before, but the article that I read this morning, from a very well-regarded news outlet, I thought, okay, is it sort of scare tactics? And it has to do with some very concerning weight gain side effects that many users are reporting. So I had to kind of do a deep dive on that. And as I was doing a bit of a deep dive into that topic, I realized it wasn't just one, news outlet that was reporting quite concerning side effects when it came to the use of Ozempic. So let's dive into it. Please let me know where you are joining me from today. I'm going live on Facebook. I'm also going live on our YouTube channel. Look, if you're on YouTube and you're like, what's this Facebook business? Bridget's Healthy Kitchen on Facebook, pretty much, is where you need to come and join in the conversation. It is an amazing community over on Facebook, just incredible group of individuals that we're all on this very, I suppose, wonderful journey together. And it's very much like-minded people getting together. We all believe in, I've actually got the t-shirt on today. Can you see that? That's right. Food is medicine. It's very timely that I'm wearing this t-shirt. That was not, that's just a coincidence that we're talking about Ozempic, which of course Ozempic is a weight loss injection that has made a lot of waves all around the world. Celebrity endorsed, as in celebrities use it. And, once it sort of gets used by celebrities, they have a great, they've got a big megaphone. And of course it has just gone absolutely, I want to say, viral, this particular weight loss injection. And there's a couple of brands. Ozempic's a brand, Wegovy is another brand, but they all kind of do the same thing. And what they are is they are GLP-1 types of injections. So there is a hormone that your body produces, and that hormone is called GLP-1. And it's, to put it very simply, it's a hormone that kind of tells you that you're full. That's pretty much the simplest way to do it. Your body naturally creates it, this GLP-1. And what Wegovy and Ozempic does is it mimics that hormone. So it tells your body, I'm full, when your body actually hasn't had very much food. So your appetite massively decreases. And with a decrease in appetite, of course, that means weight loss. And because it means weight loss, the crazy thing is that Ozempic wasn't originally created for weight loss. Ozempic was actually originally created for type 2 diabetes to help to control blood sugar levels. But it's become very popular within the weight loss niche, which we know is huge, and especially amongst those people who are looking for, ideally, I don't want to say an easy way out. That's not very nice. They were looking for the magic pill. Like, is there something that I can take that can stop me from being hungry and I can lose weight? So that's kind of the premise of it, right? Oh, before I talk anymore, I've just got to say good morning to Martina. She's joining us all the way from Germany. Martina, we've known for many, many years. It's just wonderful to see you. It's been a while. It's good to see you. Also to Ruth, good morning to Ruth. And the beautiful Helen Banbury is joining us all the way from the Northern Rivers in New South Wales. So Ozempic is a weight loss / blood glucose regulating, insulin reducing injection. And if you were to look at it like that, you go, oh, that's great. That's awesome. But of course, because we're talking about a synthetic hormone being injected into your body weekly, so it's not like you had the injection once and you're good to go. This is something that is ongoing. And because you're injecting something into yourself weekly, there is the potential for side effects while you're on the drug. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to talk about, just very quickly, let's run over the potential side effects that happens when you're on the drug. But what I really want to talk about, what got my attention this morning, was the article about people once they come off the drug, right? And it is a drug. It is something you're injecting into your body every single week, all right? So what happens when you stop taking it? So let's talk about the side effects that many people report while they're taking the drug. So the most common or the most frequently reported side effects from people who take Ozempic is things like nausea and, diarrhea, abdominal pain or stomach cramps. Some people even experience vomiting and constipation as well. So diarrhea / constipation. So what we're talking about is a digestive system that's not too happy, right? So those are the commonly reported side effects. And from the research I've looked at, up to 50% of people who take Ozempic or Wegovy report these types of side effects. But there are some other more serious side effects about this particular drug, which are more concerning because they're obviously more serious. And we're talking about some people experiencing quite severe allergic reactions, including anything from breathing problems right through to the face and the throat swelling, as well as some people even reporting hives. The one that is really concerning for me personally, because I like to play in the world of our gut health and digestive system, is pancreatitis. So pancreatitis is the inflammation of the pancreas. And this can be, symptoms for pancreatitis include things like severe abdominal pain that may even, it's so severe, it feels like the pain is coming up your back. It causes extreme nausea, and what comes with extreme nausea? Extreme vomiting as well. So we're talking about disease of the pancreas. Now, the pancreas's role within the digestive system, it may be quite a small organ, say, compared to the liver, but my goodness, is it mighty? And is it important? So the pancreas is where we create digestive enzymes that help us to break down our food. We need these digestive enzymes to break down our food so then our body can then absorb the nutrients. So that's one of the roles of the pancreas. The pancreas is also responsible for where we release insulin. Now, insulin's role, another hormone in the body, is to move all the glucose around. So insulin is a really important hormone. And if we're not able to produce the right levels of insulin, or we're not able to produce digestive enzymes, the pancreas is also responsible for producing bile. This is all about digestion. And so not having a fully functioning pancreas is really bad. And this is a serious side effect for some people, of taking Ozempic or Wegovy. But we're also talking about things like thyroid tumors, vision changes as well has been reported, worsening of vision, and also kidney damage. Again, concerning stuff, right? And even gallbladder problems as well, and people having to have their gallbladder removed. and experiencing, and if anyone has had their gallbladder removed or has had extreme pain from their gallbladder, you know it is shocking. And these are just some of the more serious but common side effects. And even Sandra has mentioned, not to mention death. And yes, there have been some deaths reported from the use of these particular drugs as well. So all in all, you know, we're not talking about something that's just super safe. We're talking about some pretty concerning side effects, whether they're the side effects that you're feeling every day from just, you know, your gut's not feeling great, right through to more serious side effects. But also there's also this phenomena. Have you guys heard about Ozempic face? So this is well reported as well in the media, especially because it's become such a popular celebrity drug, which sounds it doesn't sound good, right? Because it's become such a popular weight loss injection for celebrities, because, you know, they're always wanting to, you know, make sure that they look a certain way. Ozempic face has been very well documented amongst celebrities who are taking Ozempic. And basically what it is because the weight loss is so fast and extreme, what happens is they lose a lot of fat really quickly around their face, and they end up looking very hollow and very gaunt very quickly. And so this reporting of Ozempic face is another side effect. Well, they basically look old. They basically start looking really, really old because their face it sinks in. It becomes sunken. And one of the classic ones that I've seen, and I know you guys have potentially seen it as well, is, and I've now forgotten her name. She's married to Ozzy Osbourne. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? She's married to Ozzy Osbourne. Wow, I can't remember her name. It escapes me at the moment. But if anyone can tell me what her name is, please. What's her name? She's married to Ozzy Osbourne. Anyway, there's a lot of images of her floating around. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne. Yes, and to Kerry as well. It's Sharon Osbourne. So you guys know exactly, if you've seen the image. Thank you to Trudy as well, Sharon. So Sharon Osbourne, yeah, it's like her weight loss has been dramatic, and it hasn't done well, especially around her face, because she looks very gaunt. She looks quite unhealthy. She looks quite almost sickly, and this is a common occurrence of Ozempic for people who are using it for weight loss purposes. Oh, thank you, Pam. Mrs. Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, that's correct. She's Mrs. Ozzy Osbourne, but we all know who she is, right? So it has been this profound and dramatic rise in popularity, these GLP-1 injections that people are taking for primarily weight loss. And yes, we can sit here all day and talk about those side effects because they are concerning, and in some cases they are downright dangerous. And when you're talking about 1 in 2 people, so 1 in 2 people will experience some type of negative side effect when taking this particular drug, you're kind of like, is there a better way for me to lose weight? Like, you know, but then there's also this other side that we are talking about today. And that other side is the concerning weight gain side effects that many users, and that's the word that stopped me in my tracks when I was looking at the articles this morning. Not just a couple of users, many users are reporting, and it's the side effect that happens once they stop taking the drug. So once they come off it, let's say you've reached your weight loss goals and you're like, don't need it anymore, kind of sick of these weekly injections, you know, I mean, who wants to take a weekly injection unless you absolutely have to? And so they're like, you know what, I'm going to come off it because I've hit my weight goals. So they stop taking the drug. Now, remembering that the way that Ozempic and Wegovy and the likes of those work is that it injects this synthetic hormone into your body that pretty much stops you from feeling hungry. So it takes away your desire to eat. And some of the other side effects I didn't talk about is that it has created within users a really quite a destructive relationship with food. Because for some users, they're reporting that they've just stopped enjoying any food at all. It's taken away their love or their desire to just have that, that enjoyment that you get from sitting down in front of something that is just phenomenal, right? Sitting down in front of some dish that you're just like, man, the world is good today. I'm feeling great. And you're just loving what you're eating, right? Some users report that they just lose that relationship they've had with food. It's no longer the same. And that in itself for me is concerning, because GLP-1, this hormone that is naturally created in your gut, its job is to make you feel satisfied and to stop you from eating. Now, I know that particular hormone can be dysregulated in some people's bodies. We do know that. But we can actually do things ourselves to help to regulate that hormone. And guess what? Guess what you guys can eat to help to naturally increase the production of that hormone in your gut. Yes, there is something that you can eat. You can go off this little live that we're doing together, jump into the kitchen, and probably you can make it right now. It's in your kitchen right now. I guarantee you. There is one food that we can all eat. We can all make sure to include in every single meal that is going to help you to naturally produce GLP-1. And that food is protein. Yeah, I'm talking about beef, I'm talking about lamb, I'm talking about chicken or turkey, I'm talking about all sorts of amazing seafood, like I'm talking about salmon and mackerel and snapper and prawns and scallops and all those amazing foods that are high in protein that actually help your body to produce its own GLP-1. You can do it yourself, right? If you're eating a good balanced diet. Remember this. That's right. Food is medicine, right? We all know this. Food is medicine. But anyway, so what happens when you come off these drugs? And what are the side effects that people are reporting? So I haven't seen a study done on this yet, but there is a lot of users who are coming out and saying, my goodness, we all need to be aware of this. So the symptoms that are now being reported, because now we've got a couple of years of usage under its belt, right? Ozempic and Wegovy and the like have not been around for a long time. They've been around for a couple of years, if that. So now we're starting to see some users reporting their experiences. And I guarantee you very soon we're going to get a lot of research studies coming out, because now there's enough time, sort of, I suppose, water gone under the bridge with people using these particular types of weight loss injections, that we're going to start to see some really hard, studies coming out too. But right now, it is all user reported or user generated content, also known as UGC, user generated content. It's a big buzzword, but it's basically people going, hey, I came off Ozempic and this was my experience. And, I've been looking at articles, as I was saying, there are a lot of them out there. So this is something that is being reported amongst many users. So you stop taking the drug that has been suppressing your appetite. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think is the first thing that's going to happen to your appetite once you stop taking that drug that has been suppressing your appetite? So, as I was saying before, in your body, you naturally produce GLP-1, right? And doing things like making sure you're prioritizing protein every single day is going to help you to naturally produce your own GLP-1. So you become your own injection. You're doing it yourself with food, right? Food is medicine. Pam's saying, oh, exactly. So Suzanne is saying, well, what happens to your appetite after it's been suppressed with a drug and you stop taking that drug? Naturally, right? And Ruth is saying as well, your appetite returns, your hunger returns, your hunger increases, and you just want to eat. In fact, what is being reported now is when people are stopping this drug and they're no longer having this artificial hormone being injected into them weekly, is not only does their appetite return, but they are reporting being so hungry they can't stop eating. They become so ravenous all the time, they never ever are able to satisfy their hunger. So they come off the drug and they are in crazy town in terms of their hunger. They are reporting such profound hunger. Like one lady who had lost, a significant amount of weight on Ozempic, she reported that her hunger was so great, she became incredibly depressed because she could not satisfy this need. She said it was almost like it was a drug. She felt compelled to be constantly eating, and she would eat until she was bloated, and then she'd still be hungry. She was never, ever satisfied. Oh my gosh, even look at this comment, right? So this comment, this is real time, guys, from someone who's experienced it. She was ravenous. Lee, is it Lee? Am I saying that right? Am I pronouncing that right? She's saying she put on so much weight within weeks. And this is concerning, right? Oh, another one. This is from Pam. A friend of mine was famished and could not stop eating, packed on the weight, famished. A hunger that they've never experienced before. So why is this happening? Let's look at the science very quickly of why this is happening. So when you're taking something synthetic to replace something that your body naturally produces, your body is very, very clever. And if you're being filled with a synthetic hormone, your body's like, hey, I don't need to take up time producing that hormone anymore. So I'm just going to stop producing it because I've got this synthetic version coming in. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of melatonin supplementation, because melatonin, as we know, is our hormone that makes us sleepy. So it's the one that puts us to sleep and keeps us asleep. When we rely on melatonin supplementation to make us sleepy, our body just stops producing melatonin. So we become reliant on it in order to go to sleep. And it's the same with these types of drugs. And this is the part of the article that just, like, even talking about it with you guys right now, it scares the heck out of me that what is becoming so evident now is that these types of drugs, as we all knew, right? Once you stop taking a drug like Ozempic and you have not learned how to eat, you have not learned what foods support you and what foods don't, if you have not learned the fundamentals of how your body actually works when it comes to food and nutrition, that of course, as soon as you stop taking the drug, the weight's going to come back on. We all knew that, because that's why diets don't work. Because, there's a finish line to a diet. I'm going to do this for 30 days. I'm going to do this for 2 months. And then I'm going to go back to my old ways. And of course, as soon as you go back to your old ways and you haven't learned how to look after your body, the weight will come back on. So that was a given. But what wasn't a given, what we still needed to see the evidence of, is if you are suppressing, scientifically, hormonally, suppressing a drug, a hormone that is naturally produced in your body, the natural conclusion for many scientists was, okay, once you stop taking that synthetic hormone, your body's no longer going to produce that hormone like it should be. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing, as Lee said, ravenous, famished, never before experienced this type of hunger before in their life. And so not only do their relationship with food continues to be completely altered and damaged, right? And we're talking about long-term relationship with food, because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to improve our relationship with food, the way we think about food, the way we cook food, the way we eat food. That needs to be healthy. Taking a drug that suppresses does not improve that relationship we have with food. In fact, it makes it worse. It makes it harder, because you come off the drug and you are famished. And suddenly you're just thinking, okay, this is not normal. I've never experienced this before. Oh my God, what have I done? Like you would be feeling guilt, you'd be feeling shame, all the things we don't want to associate with food. We shouldn't feel guilt when we eat food or shame. We should be knowing that what we're doing is feeding our body with the food that our body needs, as opposed to putting in an injection and thinking that's the way through. We can't out-medicate a poor approach to food. We can only start to work on repairing that relationship that we have with food. And how do we do that? We do that with food. We don't do that with injections. We don't do that with medication. If it is diet that has caused our condition, it is diet that will fix our condition. So now this problem exists within the Ozempic world, that people who are going off the drug are experiencing extreme, like dramatic, incredibly like traumatizing response to food, that they are famished, that they are starving, always starving, that they're ravenous, that they're eating more than they've ever eaten in their entire life. And with that, of course, comes rapid weight gain. So this is known as the rebound effect. And this is why diets don't work. Because once you stop and you haven't learned how to eat, and you haven't learned what foods support you and what foods don't, the weight comes back on. Because as we know, anyone who's followed me for any length of time, we talk about this often. A fat cell in your body, you never lose fat cells. Once you grow a fat cell, that fat cell is in your body for life. So when you lose fat or you lose weight, what happens is that fat cell shrinks. So that fat cell is just sitting there, waiting to be filled up again. So we've got all these fat cells, and you've lost weight rapidly. You've got all these shrunken fat cells all over your body that are just waiting to be refilled. So you go off the diet, you go off the injection, your weight, your appetite comes back with a vengeance, like almost like, how dare you defy me and, and keep me wanting. And those fat cells are just waiting to be refilled. And because it's such a ravenous reaction to coming off the drug, people experience rapid weight gain. And of course, what comes with rapid weight gain? Anxiety, depression, confusion, stress, guilt, all those things that we want to desperately avoid when it comes to this journey that we're all on. So as I was saying, when I read this, this article, I was extremely concerned, because the last thing I want, it would be amazing if there was a magic pill, there's a magic injection, imagine that would be amazing, but there isn't. And to think that this was something that was going to answer all our prayers was, again, us just not living in reality, not living in the understanding that if it is food and diet that has caused your conditions, it is food and diet that will heal your conditions. We can't just expect an injection a week to solve our relationship with food, because we've never addressed it. We continue to live like this, and we just want convenience. But there is nothing convenient about going from weight loss to extreme weight gain because you've stopped the injection. Now, I just want to read you guys part of the article that nearly made me I wanted to vomit when I read this. And this was coming from a doctor. Okay. Oh, I need to find it again. I have scrolled away from it. Okay. They talk a lot about, Ozempic face, blah, 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 blah. But the part that really kind of freaked me out, and this was from a doctor when they were asked to, respond to this extreme hunger and extreme fast weight gain people had once they came off injections. And this doctor says, right, where is it? These drugs aren't miracle cures, she says. If you don't recognize that you were overeating or fail to address why that was happening in the first place, your relationship with food, your behavior towards it, or your overall lifestyle, for instance, then when you come off the medication, you'll revert back to where you were in the first place. namely feeling overly hungry and putting that weight back on. Now, I ask the question, for anyone here who has been on Ozempic, when you were put on that drug, was your lifestyle and your relationship with food addressed first? Was it addressed? Did your doctor sit down with you and say, hey, look, I think before I put you on this drug, we need to talk about nutrition. We need to talk about blood glucose regulation. We need to talk about eating anti-inflammatory foods. We need to talk about the difference between ultra-processed foods and whole foods. We need to talk about, are you cooking in your kitchen? Of course, none of that was addressed. You know what was addressed? Here is your prescription, your script. This is what you need to do once a week. Off you go into the wide world and lose some weight. So for a doctor to say that, I'm just like, well, we know that's not happening. We know that doctors are not trained in nutrition. We know that doctors do not support this particular area. We know that doctors are trained to prescribe you medication. So for a doctor to say that, oh, if it wasn't addressed, we're like, yo, we know it wasn't addressed because it never is. This doctor goes on. Let me just keep going. That's why, I'm quoting this from this article, that's why some of my patients, this is the part that freaked me out and why I'm talking about it with you guys today and why I'm so passionate about it. So Dr. Abraham's experience, Dr. Abraham goes on. That's why some of my patients are going to be on Ozempic, Wegovy, or GLP-1 agonist, which is that drug. That's why some of my patients are going to be on GLP-1 drug long term. I'm talking up to 10 years here. So firstly, this doctor goes on to say, oh, you should have addressed your diet, your nutrition. You should have learned how to eat before you had the drug. Well, that's not what people are being told when they're sitting in front of their doctor wanting a solution. They're saying, here is the solution, and it's in this little vial, and you inject it into your body once a week. And now the same doctor goes on to say, that's why many of my patients are going to be on Ozempic long term. Here's the other scary thing. Here's the other thing that we all need to be so aware of. Please, everyone, have your eyes wide open when it comes to this sort of stuff. Ozempic is being approved for use in children. There was, I believe, it's being looked at, and they're hoping to be able to approve it for children as young as 12 to go on Ozempic. Now, think about what that doctor in that article said. My patients, that's why my patients are going to be on it long term. So you're starting a child as young as 12 on Ozempic. You're not addressing the real issue, which is the relationship that people have with food, the lack of nutrition that has caused that person to be carrying extra weight and have all the illnesses and the diseases that accompany carrying extreme weight as well. So someone as young as 12 starts taking Ozempic. They're going to be on that drug for the rest of their life. And what are the long-term side effects of taking a drug like Ozempic for 10 years? Guess what? They don't know. Guess why? That drug hasn't been around for 10 years. They have not tested it on people long-term. Already we're getting this evidence coming out, this what people reporting that they've been on it for 7 months, 10 months, they're coming off it, and they're experiencing these extreme side effects, which is extreme hunger and then really rapid weight gain. What happens to a child who's 12 years old who comes off it after 10 years? Do you think for 1 second that their body is going to respond positively to coming off that drug? We live in a scary pharmaceutical world, don't we? We live in a time that we're all looking for the magic pill, and we're failing to see the forest for the trees a lot of the time because we're teaching our kids that it's not about understanding and learning about what we can do in our kitchens, because that's where the magic actually happens. There's no magic pill. The magic happens in your kitchen. We're not teaching our kids, the young people, the younger generation, that health starts in your kitchen. Health starts with developing a healthy relationship towards food. We're not telling our kids this. We're saying, look, it's okay. I've got this injection for you. I've got this drug. Just take this for the rest of your life. That's terrifying. And we don't know the side effects of long-term use. So you can kind of see why I had to share this with you guys today after reading these articles. It's scary times that we live in, but look, it's not doom and gloom. It's just about being aware because, of course, food is medicine. Food is medicine. Food is medicine. And when you know what to eat, when you know how to eat, when you know how to begin the task of improving your relationship with food, the way you shop, the way you cook, the way you eat, you can heal yourself. And it's the most funnest thing you're ever going to do because it happens to be extremely delicious as well. And you know what? Whether it's weight loss, whether it's type 2 diabetes, if it's type 2 diabetes is 100% caused by food. So unless you fix that relationship with food and you don't learn how to eat, all those illnesses that you had before will come back. They will, because it's foods that cause them. So join me on Boost Camp. You know what I'm going to say. Join me on Boost Camp. Our July-August Boost Camp is still open for registration even now. We are currently as a community in week 3, but I had someone, we had a couple of people actually who joined a couple of days ago, and they're starting today. You can start anytime you want, and the sooner you start on that journey to improving that relationship with food that you have, improving all your markers, whether it be your vitamin and mineral levels, whether it be your high blood pressure, whether it be your high blood glucose, whatever it is. Food is medicine, and it's not just going to make you lose a ton of weight. We're going to do it sustainably, we're going to do it long term, and we're going to do it safely. Because the beautiful thing about eating good food, there's no side effects unless that side effects is improved health. So have a fabulous day, guys. I'm going to go head off to the kitchen, do some work now. It has been it's been lovely spending a bit of time with you guys. Absolutely lovely. Go and eat some protein. Create your own GLP-1. There you go. There's a nice little tip for the day. So until next time, we will see you all very, very soon. Be well, be safe. Have a fabulous day.